You made it back safe?
That's your suit. Yes, I do.
Was our feet going
Yes, I do.
Thank God, because I just was I didn't change my shoes. I got hot and ready to come out this now. No, because I didn't rehearse it. Yeah, Jeremy has to. No, I need one too. Or two. We need 2 things.
My head. I need Jeremy to order us some of these. It's so satisfying.
Huh? No, I have pen. Thank you. It's 6 o'clock and I hit the gavel. We are going. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you.
What's going on, man? I'm George. Nice to meet you. Did you talk to Kate?
You guys have a quorum.
Okay.
Let me grab it. Troy.
She's still in front.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the June meeting of the Zebulon Board of Commissioners. This meeting is now called to order. Will you please join us as we are led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Baxter?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And now we'll have our advisory statement. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Before we begin tonight's meeting, I would like to take a moment to set the tone for how we will conduct ourselves this evening. As elected officials, staff, and community members, we all share a responsibility to ensure these meetings remain respectful, productive, and centered on serving the people of our town. We recognize that there may be different opinions, passionate perspectives, and difficult conversations, but we ask that all comments and interactions be made with professionalism, courtesy, and civility. To the public, thank you for your engagement and participation in local government. Your voice matters, and we ask that speakers remain respectful, follow the established time limits, and direct comments to the board as a whole rather than to individuals personally. To my fellow board members, I ask that we continue to lead by example, listening intentionally, speaking thoughtfully, and treating one another, staff and residents, with dignity and respect, even in disagreement. Healthy discussion strengthens our community when it is rooted in mutual respect and a shared commitment to progress. We are all here because we care deeply about this town and its future. Let us conduct tonight's meeting in a way that reflects the values of the Zebulon community and the trust our residents have placed in us. Thank you. And now, is there a motion to approve the agenda? Will there be changes to the agenda? Nope, hearing
Hold on
none.
a second, I'll get.
Oh, okay.
From consent.
We are pulling from consent.
Temporary closure for downtown.
Temp closure for downtown, that's consent item D. We can put that on old business. We'll put that on old business as old business B.
I think that's something else for me.
That's it.
Am I got anything else?
Anyone else?
We're going to pull consent item B, finance.
All of it?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna pull consent item B, 1 through 7, and move it to old business C. With those changes, are there any other changes? Would there be a motion?
I would like to make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
A motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second, any discussion? We have a motion and a second, all in favor? Motion passes unanimously, thank you. And now we will have public comment. May I have the sign-up sheet, please? Public comment, all wishing to speak must sign up prior to 5:50 p.m. The comment period will be no longer than 15 minutes, with speakers having 3 minutes each to speak. Thank you. No speaker can speak on a public hearing item or any item that would need to be discussed under closed session.
Can't hear him for the audience to say. In the audience, let's see. Okay.
Yeah. Speakers cannot give their minutes to another speaker. If you would like to submit comments to be read into the record at the meeting, please send comments of 400 words or less to Jeremy Crawford at Town of Zebulon Clerk by 12 p.m. on June 1st. We apologize, you all, for the technical difficulties you are hearing. I know that you guys can't hear us as well in the room, and so we'll do our very best to speak as loudly as possible. It's picking up online fine, and we are going to work through why we cannot hear in this room, hopefully before our next meeting. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Allison Sharp, please come to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Allison Sharp, and I'm honored to serve as Miss Zebulon's Team 2026. I'm from Wilson, North Carolina, and a recent graduate of Southern Nash High School. This fall, I'll be attending NC State to pursue a degree in agriculture business with the goal of advocating for the future of agriculture and the communities it supports. Serving as Miss Zebulon's Teen is about much more than wearing a crown. Through the Miss America opportunity, I have the privilege of promoting the values of style, scholarship, service, sisterhood, and success, while representing a community that believes in investing in its young leaders. My community service initiative is Harvesting Hope, combating food insecurity through access to fresh, healthy alternatives. Growing up on my family's farm, I have seen firsthand the hard work that goes into producing food, but I have also learned that not everyone has equal access to fresh and nutritious options. Through Harvesting Hope, I work to raise awareness about food insecurity, support local assistance efforts, and connect communities with healthy food resources. My goal is to help ensure that families have access to not only food, but fresh, nutritious foods that can improve their quality of life. I'm incredibly grateful to the Town of Zebulon and this board for supporting programs that encourage service, leadership, and community involvement. It's an honor to wear Zebulon across my sash and represent a town that values making a difference. Your investment in opportunities like this help young women develop the skills and confidence to become future leaders in our communities. Thank you for allowing me to serve as an ambassador for Zebulon. I look forward to continue to represent this town with pride through my year of service on my journey towards Miss North Carolina's team. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. And now, drum roll. No, I'm just joking. We'll have Executive Director John Saffold. He took my manager's report.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. How are y'all doing tonight? Good,
Well.
good. I have a handout here that I left with our friend Jeremy Crawford. He'll give it to y'all a little bit later. I want to thank Ms. Crosby and some others in the staff. I think Ms. Heather Louise Finch as well as Sheila Long. We have a meeting coming up, a public session here on Tuesday, June the 16th from 5 to 7 p.m. It is open to the public and it's going to be co-hosted by the Town of Zebulon and the Chamber. The purpose of this is a meet and greet opportunity to meet with town officials, staff, as well as the Chamber staff and members. We'll hear department highlights from the town departments as well as the Chamber. We're asking small businesses to attend as well as any size business and our nonprofits. So that will be on Tuesday, June 16th, 5 to 7 p.m. downstairs in the common area. So thank you very much, and I'd like to thank Katie for working with us on this.
You took my manager's update.
What's that?
I said you took my manager's
Let's
update.
do a general announcement or intro, and I know you're going to take it from there, Katie.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John.
This other one over here. Thank you, sorry about that.
David Hughes.
Good evening. My name is David Hughes. My family and I reside at 900 East Horton Street here in Zebulon for the last 34 years. Our family farm has been here for 5 generations. Making comments, but I'm going to probably have more questions, but I want to speak and raise some comments in regards to the rezoning of East Horton Street. I'm not sure if the town is aware or the planning staff is aware, and they may be, and I just want to bring this to your attention. But have you ever dealt with voluntary ag districts for developments?
I'm sorry, Mr. Hughes, we're not allowed to respond to you while you're making public comment.
Okay, all right, okay. It's a North Carolina General Statute 106-740 that the voluntary ag districts offer limited but important protections against eminent domain. While they cannot completely stop a government entity from condemning farmland, they mandate a strict review process and a waiting period to ensure all alternatives have been exhausted. And in this particular case, they will be coming through our property to get to this rezoning. So I just want to make you aware that this is something a hurdle that the developer is going to have to take care of. Also, there is a barn that a lot of people probably don't care about, but there's a barn on this property that's made out of terracotta brick. It was built in the 1920s. There's only a handful left in our entire state, and it's very rare. And I'm sure the developer is just going to do like they always do. They're going to come in, they're going to bulldoze the whole thing, flatten it out, put their pads for their concrete slabs, and go about their business. I would like to see that was preserved somehow back in its original condition, and I have investigated that some of that can be reclaimed, that it can be used for like the entrance sign, it could be used at the mailbox center as an accent. I just want the heritage to be preserved. So those are my 2 main concerns about this particular property. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hughes. Mr. Clark, could you please schedule a meeting with myself, Mayor Pro Tem, and Mr. Hughes? Thank you. Now we'll have Patrick Bussey. Did I say that right? Yes.
Good evening. My name is Patrick Bussey, and I'm representing Caruso Homes for the annexation of Horton Street. Just wanted to point out a few things that, from the perspective of the town, because I know that's your job to make sure this is done responsibly.
If you would, sir, hold on one second. I hate to interrupt, Madam Mayor, but this is a hearing topic. It should probably hold off until we get to that, if you don't mind, as per your instructions.
All right.
Thanks.
You will have the opportunity to speak, though. You'll be back, and I will say your name right again. And now, our final in-person public comment, Ms. Annette McMillan. Ms. McMillan, my apologies. Please state your name and address for the record.
Annette McMillan, 1281 Sydney Creek Drive, Zebulon, North Carolina, 27597. You're welcome. As just stated, my name is Annette McMillan, and I moved to the Zebulon area in 2023. And I travel Highway 64 quite often. And I've witnessed wrecks, bottlenecks, and more wrecks on this highway. And it has become a concern for me. And I believe also many residents of the Zebulon area and surrounding areas. So in particular, Friday, May 29, 2026, I witnessed another wreck, and it looked like a pretty bad wreck. So I called Wake County Maintenance and spoke to Mr. Larry Nims, who referred me to Mr. David Kelson, the project management. And David referred me to Daniel Boulder of the district engineer. But the big question is, why is it still the case where Highway 64 is only 2 lanes when we continue to have these bottlenecks and wrecks and people losing their lives? And so Daniel has stated that there is a scoring of projects and that Zebulon has scored low, or the Zebulon area has scored low in comparison to other Wake County projects. And this is all at the expense of lives being lost continually on this highway. And the powers that be have not considered the countless wrecks and the bottlenecks and the lives lost. And my plea and my concern today is the fact that Highway 64 should be expanded to a 4-lane highway on both sides leading into and out of Zebulon to offset these continued wrecks, continued loss of lives, and more wrecks. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McMillan. Mr. Clerk, do we have any no worries, do we have any public comments submitted online?
We do, and because we're having mic issues, I'm going to speak from the smaller podium. I'm going to buzz myself. Can you hear me? Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. We have 2 that were emailed in today. The first commenter wanted to remain anonymous. She asked me not to read her name. Her statement is well within the 3 minutes. It goes like this. Mayor, commissioners, and town staff, I would like to begin by thanking you for listening to citizen concerns regarding the food truck situation downtown. It appears that the adjustments that have been made, including encouraging food truck activity to move to side streets and parking areas, have significantly improved safety, reduced noise concerns, and created a better experience for both residents and patrons visiting downtown. This is a good example of the government listening to citizens, working with businesses, and finding a solution that benefits everyone. Thank you for your efforts. Now that this issue appears to be largely resolved, I would appreciate and encourage the board to continue focusing on 2 remaining concerns that many residents still notice in our downtown area. First, some storefronts and buildings appear tired and in need of refreshment or improvement. Downtown Zebulon is the front porch of our community, and maintaining an attractive appearance helps support economic development, tourism, and community pride. Second, some businesses continue to repeatedly violate the town's noise ordinances. Residents and visitors should be able to enjoy downtown without excessive noise that disrupts nearby homes and businesses. As you evaluate these issues, I encourage you to consider whether ordinance enforcement tools should be modernized. One option may be progressive fines that increase with each repeat violation, and when necessary, allow for criminal citations for chronic offenders. Many ordinance penalty amounts have not been updated in decades, while downtown activity, property values, and the impact of violations have changed significantly. Zebulon proudly promotes its small town charm. Neither dilapidated buildings nor repeated excessive noise contributes to that image. As downtown continues to grow and evolve, I hope the town will consider updating enforcement practices in ways that preserve the character, appearance, and quality of life that make Zebulon such a special place. Thank you for your service and for your continued attention to these matters. The second emailed comment is from Suzanne Pierce. It says, I am writing to express my concerns regarding the proposed increases to the mayor's and commissioner's stipends, as well as the request for additional funding for travel and training expenses. While I understand the importance of continuing education and professional development for elected officials, I believe these requests should be carefully evaluated in light of the town's current financial condition. Our town is facing an approximate $3 million budget deficit and has reserve fund levels that are reportedly below 30%. Given these circumstances, I question whether increasing compensation and expanding travel budgets is an appropriate use of taxpayer funds at this time. Many residents are being asked to do more with less, and I believe town leadership should demonstrate the same fiscal restraint that is expected of taxpayers and town staff. Before considering additional expenditures for elected officials, I would encourage the board to focus on addressing the budget shortfall, rebuilding reserve funds, and ensuring the town's long-term financial stability. I respectfully request that my concerns be shared with the mayor and board of commissioners and be included in the public record regarding any discussion or votes related to these proposed increases. Thank you for your time and consideration. Suzanne Pierce.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Does that complete the online submissions? All right, thank you. And now we will have recognitions and proclamations. Our school recognitions this month, will come from Eastwake Magnet High School, and we will have a recognition from our Amex Shop Small Grant. At this time, may I have Ms. Vicki Emanuel and Mr. LaJuan Walker. Did I say your name right? Yeah. Congratulations again. Ms. Vicki Emanuel is a rising senior at Eastwake Magnet High School. She has maintained a respectable GPA while demonstrating dedication both academically and artistically. Victoria is a well-rounded student who has taken dance courses for several semesters and has performed in numerous school dance productions and theatrical performances. Vicki exemplifies the versatility and talent represented within our student body at Eastwake Magnet High School. Her commitment, creativity, and willingness to participate in school activities have made her a positive presence within our school community. Congratulations again. Congratulations. Mr. LaJuan Walker is a social studies and history teacher at Eastwake. Bless you. Okay. He has great rapport with his students and always eager to help. In addition to all the things he does on campus, he took on a school improvement chair and has done an amazing job with it. You can see him daily in the hallway talking to students and kids wanting to stop by just to say hi. He is a creative teacher who makes learning fun. Congratulations, Mr. Walker. And now we will recognize our Amex Shop Small Grant Program. And joining me will be Commissioner Roa, as he is our economic development guy. Mr. Michael Lombardo, please come forward. You sure? How are you? Thank you so much. Tonight, the Board of Commissioners will recognize Zebulon area recipient of the Amex Shop Small Grant, Mr. Michael Lombardo, owner of the Fall Line Bar. We all know what that is. Clap for the Fall Line. Okay. In partnership with the American Express, Main Street America announced that more than 500 recipients nationwide have been awarded funding through the Amex Shop Small Grants Program, providing over $10 million in support to small businesses across the country. Eligible recipients were required to be located within a Main Street accredited affiliate or member community. This year, North Carolina had 10 recipients selected for the program, including Zebulon's own Michael Lombardo, owner of the Fall Line Bar, who was awarded $20,000 to help grow his business, foster innovation, and continue supporting the Zebulon community. For those who may not know, the Amex Shop Small Grants program was initially launched with a $5 million contribution to support 250 small businesses in honor of America's 250th anniversary. Through a Small Business Saturday giving pledge, an additional $1 was given to the grant program for eligible transactions made on Small Business Saturday, and American Express contributed an additional $5.1 million, expanding the program's reach and impact to small businesses and communities. The 505 recipients reflect the vitality of U.S. small businesses, spanning industries from retail and food services to healthcare and professional services. Grant funding will enable recipients to grow and innovate by expanding operations, investing in critical upgrades, and introducing new offerings. Congratulations to Mr. Michael Lombardo and the Fall Line Bar of Zebulon.
George, get in the photo. George.
Okay. Whew. Whew, where are we? All right. And now we will be moving down to presentations, economic development updates, small area plans, opportunity zones, and social district. Manager Crosby and Director Lauer, you're up.
Mayor, I'm going to have Director Lauer present the presentation, but we thought this would be a good opportunity to provide an update on several things that are in the agenda today for the board's consideration. and to show how all of these things support our economic development strategy.
Manager Crosby, I am so sorry to interrupt you, but as I was doing the proclamations, I did not have my agenda, and so I missed something. As we celebrate and we do proclamations, let us please take a moment to celebrate our manager's birthday. That was yesterday. Happy birthday, Manager Crosby. I apologize for missing that, but we just want to again tell you how much we thank you, appreciate you.
Can we sing?
No, we cannot sing, Commissioner Adams. All right, please continue. Thank you.
I think I may have pressed the mic off when I talked about this, but Director Lauer is going to talk about our economic development strategy. There are a number of things that are on the agenda tonight that are all connected to our overall strategy, and so we thought it would be a good idea to have a presentation to walk you through why these things are on the agenda and how that will inform our strategy going forward. So, Director Lauer.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'll talk briefly, I'll go back one slide here. I'll talk briefly about the economic development priorities of the town. And then we'll talk about 3 specific instances within those priorities: the small area plans, which we have talked about for a while now, the opportunity zones, and the social district. And some of these items will be items that the board will have an opportunity to act on later in this meeting. We have a vision for our economic development program, which is to foster an inclusive, vibrant, diverse, and sustainable economy. Zebulon will be a regional player, prioritizing intentional and responsible growth while retaining the town's unique charm and quality. And the purpose of some of the additional items coming up today are to align our activities with this vision. Setting the stage for success, there are a lot of tools. All right. Can you hear me now? Look at that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Well, there are a lot of tools in our toolkit already that set our stage for success. Per North Carolina 160D, we have a comprehensive plan. This is our legal document that guides planning and zoning decisions. We have a transportation plan, a Parks and Recs plan. Our subdivision and zoning codes are combined now into a unified development ordinance. We have an economic development strategic plan. We have a robust downtown initiative, series of downtown initiatives, including the Main Street program, Launch Zebulon, the collaboration with the Chamber of Commerce, and the recently passed food truck ordinance to begin to provide and promote entrepreneurship opportunities across the community. There are also a variety of things still in progress. One of them is the social district, which we'll talk about tonight. One of them is the housing study, which is in its final round of public comment. As you know, we're all working together on a Town of Zebulon strategic plan. We're collaborating on a hotel and marketing initiative with the Greater Raleigh Convention and Visitors Bureau. We continue to improve and enhance town involvement and activity on Mako Park with our new stakeholder and partner, Capital Broadcasting. We're working through community park renovations and a variety of business, industry, and stakeholder engagement, including meetings with some of our largest employers and largest property taxpayers. So moving forward, a couple of the larger initiatives that we'll discuss today. One is the Opportunity Zone. An Opportunity Zone, the program is up for renewal. We'll talk about what that means. We'll talk about our small area plan studies in 3 of our 5 priority reinvestment areas: West Gannon, downtown, and Wakefield. The other 2 are the Triangle Business Park and the Mako Park area. And then we're working with Wake County Economic Development on broader Zebulon, or leveraging greater Zebulon assets and opportunities. One thing that I'd like to share before we go into some of our topics today is everything that we do at a staff level is really governed by 2 documents. One is the comprehensive plan. It's the technical and legal document. It's the what. What are we going to do? It's required by state law in North Carolina to have planning and to have zoning. The second is a strategic plan. This is the how. This is the document we're working on. It's being led by the commissioners, and we're working on as staff to support the commissioners in creating a new strategic plan that's periodically revisited by different iterations of the board as time passes by. This is how everything that staff does sits under these 2 documents. So the comprehensive plan is the what, and all of the items in the comprehensive plan guide implementation. So it guides our transportation plan, our capital improvements plan, so on and so forth. At the end of the day, all of these community-led plans that operate under the umbrella of the comprehensive plan deliver our implementation documents, the UDO, our technical documents like the spec book, and so on and so forth. The strategic plan underwrites how we do these things. It underwrites policy, and then it underwrites how staff operationalizes those policies. And there are probably several sub-items we could put under underwrites, but the two that are important for today are the economic development strategy as a whole, little strategy, not the strategy document, but how we operationalize it, and programmatic activities, like the sustainability board, for example, the Main Street board, and so on and so forth. So with that, our first item tonight is the small area and downtown master plans. If you recall, I believe it was 2 months ago, you authorized a budget adjustment to put funding in place to go out and seek a consultant to help us deliver a small area and downtown master plan. But before we talk about that, what is a small area plan? Let's reorient everybody in the room. It's a focused implementation plan, and it's tied to a specific geographic area to develop 4 things. One is a detailed and community-oriented vision. The second is clear strategy for how the town is going to spend the public dollar in these priority areas. The third is a predictable framework for investors that want to contribute to the growth of our priority areas. And the fourth is a unified implementation framework that's grounded in the community's vision. This process is especially useful when coordinating revitalization efforts in mixed-use infill areas with lots of property owners, like downtowns, for example. The time is right to think about small area plans, and it's right because we have a lot of energy, and it's time to capture that energy and make sure that all of the investment that we're seeing in North Carolina is now officially the second fastest growing town. The investment continues to contribute to the quality of life of the residents that are already here. It's the core reinvestment strategy for 3 of our 5 priority areas, for downtown, for the old Wakefield town site, and for the West County corridor. These opportunities that we're leveraging, being the second fastest growing town in North Carolina, comes with opportunities to continue to invest back in the residents that are here. One of them are the key public improvements that have come from the Greenfield approvals over the last 18 months. This $5 million of transportation impact fee, new transportation impact fee dollars. The connection of Jones Street is now accounted for, which completes the bond project using only developer funds. And there are 9 acres of land now in our Greenfield subdivisions that are reserved for public benefit, either meaning that the town has direct ownership or we have a role in contributing to what goes in those areas in terms of neighborhood services and things like that. The board over the past 18 months has also approved 1,500 plus home sites in diverse formats, from large subdivisions such as Pierce's and Old Run Road to mixed-use projects such as the Zebulon Gateway project. 3 of these 5 projects, Pierce's Road, Zebulon South, and Zebulon Gateway, are in full construction drawing phase. We understand that the other 2 have cleared some of their due diligence items and should be coming within the next 3 to 6 months. I think it's also important to show that these investment opportunities that are coming to Zebulon don't just manifest themselves in suburban master plan neighborhoods. Zebulon Gateway was approved last year. It's the largest commercial investment in the town of Zebulon in 30 years. Our commercial pads are also moving. Cookout site plan is approved. Tockaroo's construction drawings are approved. Wawa was approved by the board, the plan development. Domino's is a 7-Eleven is open. The new animal hospital has completely moved to their new location and made infrastructure improvements to Arundel. Sheets' redevelopment is about to begin, and then there was some rezoning development on Jones Street. These are small projects. A lot of these are projects that are broader signals to the market. I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, Matt. I understand that our online viewers cannot hear you while you're using the handheld mic, but our in-person, can he use both? How do we make this work?
You'll get feedback if you try both.
Okay. Well, can you just speak loud enough for the people in the room to hear you?
Would you like to keep going?
Yes, keep going and just speak loud enough for those in the room to hear you. But we want to make sure that all of our audience can hear you. I'm sorry for interrupting again. And we will definitely get this looked at.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
So the commercial opportunities that have come from the last 18 months or so, these commercial pads are moving. And what this means is it's a broader signal to the market that Zebulon is investable. We also should talk about our downtown revitalization. 9 buildings have been rehabbed in the past 18 months, and that's brought 9 new buildings down, not old, they're old buildings, but they're new insides, and brought them up to a modern standard. And then also the activity at Nomeko Park. The Devil Dogs, which I think are 5-0 now or something like that. Not only is Nomeko Park
have a lot of improvements and more coming, but the baseball's good too. So we're really, really excited about that. And you know, what this really shows, all of these items here, they show that the Zebulon investment community, or Zebulon's investment framework is maturing and stabilizing, but there is a clear missing link. And that missing link is community-centric reinvestment in our core areas. And that's what we're here to talk about today. So the big question is this. If we do a small area plan, how will it work and how do we know it works? Well, the firm that was selected out of RFQ process is offering a project manager that has overseen small area plans. And I'm going to show you some examples of small area plans in which the proposed project manager has overseen. Now, both of these are in Spokane, Washington. And there are certainly some differences between Spokane and Zebulon. But there is a couple clear similarities. And one is that the core of both of these communities experienced significant lack of investment or disinvestment, including portions of the inner city neighborhoods in Spokane that were divided by the federal highway system. And so I'm going to show you some examples of before and not necessarily after, because the planning never really stops, but maybe before and now as a result of the Centers and Corridors program at the city of Spokane. Broader national team that staff is recommending you authorize the manager to negotiate a contract with for the small area and downtown plans. This is Monroe Street. Before, the photo on the top in 2013, it's a 5-lane road section. There's no sidewalks, or there's minimal sidewalks. There's still a bus stop there. There's 2 vacant buildings. In 2025, after robust planning effort, not only has there been significant public improvement in reconfiguration of the corridor to better balance all users, but then there's also the vacant buildings are filled, right? The 2 buildings in the foreground now have tenants, and there's a 3rd building back there that has been significantly revitalized as well. This is also Monroe Street, 1 block up, looking at a different angle. The top photo, there's a vacant building, a parking lot, and a building that needs a lot of love. And then in 2025, that vacant building is full. The parking lot has been brought to its most productive use, and the building that needs a lot of love got some of that love. And I think what's important to show here is that in both of these photos, revitalization was driven by local small businesses. There's not a single national business in any of these photos. Another thing about small area plans, and a rightful criticism, is sometimes they can be used to create displacement because they can show that an area is very investable, and it may bring investment that displaces current residents. However, when you craft them intentionally, I think the opposite happens, and it actually stops or slows displacement through community engagement, investment, and ownership from the inside out. And this picture is an example of just that. This is the 5th Avenue Commercial Street in the Underhill Park neighborhood in Spokane. It's Spokane's most diverse zip code, and for a time was the largest African-American neighborhood in the state of Washington. It was also the center of mass displacement, and that's why it no longer is that. But the small area planning efforts in this created a middle-out revitalization, and you can see not only with the intentional public street improvements, but each building now is full and not vacant. You can't see on the right side, there's a 3rd building that I know exists on the back end, and it's also blue. These are local businesses that have invested in this community. And so I don't know if he's going to be able to speak or not, but we do have some of the local team members here as well. The staff is recommending the board select Nexus Planning Services. They include our project manager who's a 40-year industry veteran that has not only overseen the planning work of these efforts, but actually the implementation of it. And backed by nationwide partners truly across the continent, from Raleigh to Portland. This firm was really best demonstrated their ability to manage a project like this cradle to grave. They have robust small area plan experience and an award-winning national interdisciplinary team. So I think what we need to do is give Ryan a chance to say hello, and if it doesn't work, we can keep going. Or unless his sub-consultants here want to say something.
All right, Madam Mayor, I'll put the monitor onto my laptop. Ryan, can you hear us? Can you join us for the meeting? No, it appears we're still having the same issue with the audio coming through.
Something. We'll have an opportunity to talk later because they're not going to make the motion. So we'll move forward here. The Nexus Planning Services boasts a really robust team from across the nation for the market analysis. RCA, the firm's principal of RCA was also a town manager in South Carolina for the fiscal productivity analysis, and a local engineer, JM Teague, for local support and conditions. And then there's design partners as well, Walker Macy, and then Clearscapes Architecture, which has worked both on upcoming flagship projects in our region and also some existing ones, upcoming being the Morrisville Town Center and the revitalization of the John Chavis Park, downtown Raleigh. So as we work through the small area planning process, the goal is to work with the community and accomplish a lot. We'll accomplish a revitalization framework strategy for downtown and understand how we can better leverage catalytic projects. For Wakefield, we'll create a framework for growth in an area that is battling both the preservation of old buildings and things that are meaningful to people that have lived here for a long time, and also the fact that it's right off the highway and it's attractive to highway commercial pad development. And the third is West Gannon. It's our oldest shopping center and guide redevelopment of that area that's highly walkable to many members of our community, including some of the most vulnerable. So that concludes the small area plan portion of this presentation. Now let's talk about opportunity zones.
I'm sorry, Director Lara, one moment. Commissioner Rowe has a question.
This group, Nexus, are they currently working or have they worked on a project in North Carolina?
They have not. Some of their team members have, though.
Did you just say 2 members have?
Two of the team, the firm members have worked on projects. It's a 6-firm team. Of our 4 finalists, only one of them had worked on a project in North Carolina.
Is there not, so it doesn't sound crazy, but is there not a preference to work with a firm that has been producing, that has something to show for working in North Carolina?
There could be. North Carolina does have some unique planning and zoning rules in comparison to other states. Those are largely related to current planning. As a Dillon's rule state, there's certain, like quasi-judicial hearings, for example. That's a unique North Carolina-ism. When it comes to a strategic planning process, understanding how to insert local context into a process that creates outcomes, that's the skill set that we're looking for. And that's the skill set that, in staff's opinion, Nexus was able to best demonstrate.
My only concern, and why I bring it up, is for the board to consider, if we're in a very unique position, like you said, second fastest, we have opportunity zones, we're located very well next to Raleigh, we have all of these different medical facilities and higher education. So it's a very unique kind of area. So I just want to make sure that we're vetting these companies, or our expectation is that they have built like kind somewhere already in the state. So that's just kind of my question / feedback. But I don't know what the curriculum was or who the finalists were, but that's just my one feedback to the town manager and to the rest of the board in your consideration of approving this plan, is you kind of want someone that already works in your backyard. Thank you.
The only thing I would add to that is that we did an RFQ process, and so to Matt's point where he said that we selected based on the RFQ process, we had 9 responses, and I believe the one that we selected had representatives in North Carolina as part of their sub group. And they're here.
Gentlemen, please state your name and the company that you are from for the record, please.
Madam Mayor, my name is David Hyder. I'm a registered professional engineer in the state of North Carolina. My address is 7912 Mayapple Place in Raleigh. The current firm I work with is JM Teague Engineering and Planning. We do primarily traffic engineering work throughout the state of North Carolina, working with developers, with communities. One of our strong suits is working with municipalities of this size. Now, and a couple of things I would like to say before I shuffle off is I was the project manager 5 years ago for the master plan that was done here then. So I'm familiar with Zebulon. And Ryan Hughes, who called me about this, Ryan and I worked together in Saudi Arabia 10 years ago doing master plans at the Yanbu Industrial City. So a couple of things. This is not either of us. We're both familiar in some respects with towns like this, and we understand communication between you and us and internally. Fred?
I'm a principal with Clearscapes Art and Architecture based in Raleigh. I live at 711 Gaston Street in Raleigh, North Carolina. So we were founded in 1981 by an artist and an architect, and we are a profoundly North Carolina firm leading architecture, planning, and public art projects across the state and across the country. So I appreciate the thoughtful questions about the makeup of the team, and I wanted to offer a little bit of insight. We've worked on a number of local projects with national partners, projects ranging from the Raleigh Convention Center to Marble's Kids Museum. We're currently leading the effort in Morrisville for their town center and have led projects like the Chavis Park revitalization in Raleigh. Some of those projects are led by us locally. Other projects are in partnership with national firms. And what we found for planning projects like this is partnering with a good national firm that brings not just local experience, but a national perspective on best practices and opportunities, and has an understanding of how these projects can be successfully implementable across the country, brings great value to projects like this. So with David, with Clearscapes, I think we're bringing together the best of local expertise and knowledge, working in North Carolina and even in this building, which was one of my first projects as a young architect in North Carolina, with those national best practices and perspective to help ensure that you're getting not just local thought leadership, but national ideas and perspectives and approaches that may not be considered solely by local firms. Hopefully that'll help to address some of your questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other questions?
I feel better.
Any other questions? Everybody good? Okay. I kind of feel like you could have dropped the mic there.
I'm confused which one I'm supposed to use now. I think it's this one. All right, opportunity zones.
Right. Might help. Sorry, go ahead, Director Lauer.
So opportunity zones. They're a federal program that is designed to incentivize investment in under-investment places. It is based off of census tracts. And the federal government has recently opened Opportunity Zones 2.0. It represents a permanent evolution of the Opportunity Zone program. It establishes a permanent tax code feature for this program. Otherwise, it was temporary up to this point, with a rolling 10-year tract designation. So every 10 years, you have to apply to redesignate an Opportunity Zone tract. There is an open call now for Opportunity Zone tracts, and I'd like to talk briefly about what that means for Zebulon. First is, what is an Opportunity Zone? It's a federally designated zone that is eligible for special investment incentives. In a state like North Carolina, where smaller and emerging towns, towns merging from towns into bigger cities, have limited economic development incentive enabling legislation, this is a very powerful tool. It was created to encourage private investment in communities that have experienced economic challenges. How do they work? Say you own a property and you sell that property and you made a capital gain on that property. You used to have one choice. You pay the capital gains tax. But with opportunity zones, you have a second choice. You can take the money in which you would otherwise have to pay a capital gains tax on. You can invest it in what's called an opportunity zone fund. This is a specialized bank. It's an investment bank that only makes investments on projects in opportunity zones. So you invest your capital gain into the Opportunity Zone Fund, and they invest it in projects. Provided that you hold your money in the Opportunity Zone Fund for at least 10 years, you get a potential deferral on the capital gains tax. The gain is, it's prorated basically, so it's different in a 5 and 7 year holds. And then if you hold it for 10 years, you could potentially qualify for exclusion on those zones. So it's a way to take money made elsewhere and bring that money into underinvested parts of the nation. This investment fuels economic growth. It can create jobs, revitalization, so on and so forth. Why does this matter for Zebulon? For that very reason. It's an incentive tool that we currently do not have that we could obtain. Promote new business and commercial development, new projects, housing, infrastructure redevelopment, and I think perhaps most importantly, job creation and opportunities to participate in the economy, both as a producer and a consumer. The town of Zebulon is split across 3 census tracts. We have one that is eligible, and that's this one. The northern boundary of this tract is Gannon Avenue. And so within this census tract, 3 of the 5 priority investment areas, in this case downtown, some of the West Gannon corridor, and the stadium are within this census tract. So investment in those areas, provided it's invested by the investment comes through a qualified opportunity zone fund, is eligible. This census tract has a poverty rate of 13.5%, which is higher than state average, has a area median income of $64,000. And this opportunity zone, by moving forward with recommending nominating is the official term to the governor's office. This area is an opportunity zone, aligns with many of the adopted policies as well as town initiatives. Anybody can nominate opportunity zone. It's not an official. There's not an official body that can and can't do it. And so we've been talking to CBC and some of our other partners about a joint nomination. So the last piece of this is the social district. Our staff has worked on establishing all the pre-required material for a social district. An ordinance is in your packet to consider today to establish a social district. The social district boundaries that are recommended are on your screen. It includes all of the downtown core, as well as capturing all the commercial uses west and east. It captures all current businesses that are an ABC licensee business, and most likely all of the buildings that could have one. It excludes the town parking lot, but I want to also make note that there's already an ordinance that allows for establishments to allow for residents with an alcoholic beverage to be in the shadow of the building. But we've excluded the town parking lot because it's usually best practice to exclude public facilities from that as well that aren't monitored. So I mean, the fire department is a monitored public facility, right? The proposed time is 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. Should you approve the ordinance for the social district tonight, we'll finalize a maintenance and management plan as required by state law that outlines basic district operations. There's not a lot of wiggle room in what this looks like. It's very boilerplate. We reference both Raleigh and Fuquay, and as we've established our draft maintenance and management plan. Currently, operations will be managed by the planning department, but this can change in time as the community grows and as departments grow in their roster of people. Using existing HUD dollars, the intent is to install additional trash cans downtown. And there are 3 steps should the board choose to approve a social district tonight. The first is simply register the district with the ABC Commission. We will hit print on draft signage, and we will convene the interested ABC businesses to coordinate a launch date. We're going to target the 2nd week of June. With that, that concludes the presentation about economic development. If it's pertinent, I can take questions, and we'll have an opportunity to address some of these items also later in the meeting.
Thank you, Director Lauer. Manager Crosby, anything to add? All right. Thank you, Director Lauer. Are there any questions from the board right now?
I just have one, Matt. You said in the future for the social district, right now, planning would oversee it. What does that look like in the future?
We just simply have we have limited capacity, but of all the departments that have the ability to manage it, we have the most institutional knowledge about how what's effectively a community development activity, how it operates. How work is assigned is obviously done at the discretion of the manager, but it could change in time as the department grows. The planning department doesn't always run this in other communities. Yes, sir.
Who normally runs it, man?
It's a mix. Sometimes it's planning department, sometimes it's in the economic development group, sometimes it's the third-party Main Street group that operates it under the direction of the town board. Yes, sir.
Any questions? Commissioner Rowe? Commissioner Baxter?
No, thank you.
Commissioner Adams?
No.
Davis?
No questions.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much. And now we will move on to our consent agenda, which has been amended. Is there a motion from the board?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Thank you. We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. And now we will move down to old business. Old business A, social district. Mr. Lauer, haven't heard from you all night. Thank you.
The agenda.
It is.
So we'll be here. We're here with you all night. I hope this is the right mic. This is the opportunity to approve social district ordinance 2026-43. I'm happy to answer any questions, have any discussion necessary, and continue to advise the board as needed.
Director Lauer, we have some questions from the board. Commissioner Baxter?
I have some questions about the boundaries of the district. We have two businesses that sell alcohol, but they are packaged alcohol. That would be the Compare Foods as well as the Walgreens. So help me understand how they would fit into the social district.
So alcohol that they sell cannot be consumed in the social district. Packaged alcohol stays packaged. If they chose to opt in, you could, in theory, have a social district beverage in those businesses, but they would have to opt in. But packaged alcohol is by the state legislature is not part of a social district.
Okay, and so what would be the benefit of running the social district all the way down? Is that just because it would include the entire DTC?
That's correct. So it would not only include the entire DTC, but it would give every adjacent commercial enterprise to the DTC the same opportunity to be in or out. And then it's also about planning for the future. As the town grows, we can expect for more commercial investment, not only in the DTC, but around DTC, potentially through, as a result of a small area planning process, for example. And so thinking about establishing a district that we only do once, rather than trying to add things later, as long as we establish it in a way that is consistent, ensures that everybody has due process and the ability to choose to be in or out, and is logical. And I believe that that is what staff has put together for this.
Okay, and so how much is it going to cost to run the program? How many anticipated staff hours do you believe are going to be required? And is there a reason why we are not also considering a service district to help facilitate the funding of the social district?
Funding is largely limited to the initial investment of materials, which is less than $4,000, depending on the type of signage we print and the amount of people who want in and out, because we'll provide signage that we want in. We want to support alcohol, but we don't want it in our store. Or you can have it in our store, but we don't sell it, right? So there's a minor cost to that initial startup. In terms of staff hours, we are getting close to filling our open planner 1 position. And so in terms of the general maintenance of the district, from intaking applications to participate and things like that, that can be part of our routine permitting process. So it certainly adds a little bit to our capacity, but it doesn't push us over the edge in the way where service will decline on one side or the other. In terms of a municipal service district, that's not something that the planning department has ever been directly asked to explore. I'm sure some version of a municipal service district may be discussed in the small area planning process. And in the future, it could be integrated. I mean, it could be, one could manage the other, right? The municipal service district could be the group that ends up managing the social district. That's just this, the planning staff has never been directly asked to assemble one or propose the assembly of one, at least since I've been the planning director.
About it before, but yeah, you're correct, since you've been here. So just curious.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
With that said, Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion.
One second. Thank you. Anything, Commissioner Adams?
I just have a question. I know it seems like the hours are from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through and the weekend too included.
It's 11 a.m., the proposal is 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day.
I'll ask that question because I know for the younger people, they don't come outside till like 9 o'clock or so. So I don't know if we can increase those hours from Friday night, Saturday night, just give them a little more time to enjoy the weekend.
Sure, that you could do that. One of the reasons that we feel comfortable proposing 11 to 10 a.m. is because there's already an ordinance in the books that allows for somebody to consume alcohol in the shadow of a building. So when it comes to, for example, outside seating, and that's one of the purposes of that ordinance was created. Staff feels that the existence of that ordinance, combined with the social district, extends the ability to have alcohol in some version of off-premise through the duration of when every ABC licensed business is open.
Thank you.
No questions.
Mayor Pro Tem?
No, just pick up for Commissioner Adams saying, I like what you're thinking, just trying to figure out, we push the noise ordinance to 11 anyway, correct? Matt, is that correct?
We haven't begun scoping a new noise ordinance, but it could change, sure.
Okay.
What is the original noise ordinance at? What time?
The planning department doesn't typically enforce that, so I don't know that off the top of my head. But it does trigger around 10 or 11, I would assume.
Chief, do you have the answer to that question? Thank you, Chief.
But I like what you're saying, so you're looking to push it till 11 o'clock, you're saying?
Midnight. Yes.
Weekends? Or
This Friday and Saturday.
It's Friday, Saturday.
That's-
Because some of the establishments don't close, yeah, I can see that.
So 1.
Party all night long.
No, so, Matt, if we were to change that from, say, what were you saying, Friday and Saturday, Commissioner Adams?
Correct.
From 11 to 12 on those days, Friday and Saturday, what does that look like?
You want to do Friday and Saturday to 11 p.m. or to 12?
12 p.m. To 12 p.m., Commissioner Adams?
That's perfect.
So you'd have to put in, just in your motion, just say, I hereby approve, if you're going to approve it, amending, and then say what you're going to amend, and then we'll reflect that in the ordinance, we'll reflect that in the maintenance plan, and that was what will be submitted.
Okay.
Good?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Commissioner Roa?
I like the vibe, but we should consider trying to stack these ordinances together because it'll be hard to enforce a noise ordinance at 11 o'clock if we're still allowing people to walk around the streets drinking and screaming until midnight, right? So you are creating, unless you move the noise ordinance till 12, if you're allowing people to walk around all of downtown drinking and making noise, it would be difficult to, I would assume, to make it difficult to enforce that ordinance. So just consideration.
But that's what I'm saying. Right there, you're assuming that just because I'm drinking, I'm screaming. That's not always the case.
But you should always assume the worst when applying a policy because that's like the worst case scenario that could happen is me pulling up to a corner lot, drinking outside of a bar, screaming and playing music. And if it's past the noise ordinance now, we've kind of enabled that. That's all I'm just saying is to consider that with the time.
Thank you for sharing that.
And I also want to make sure that we consider that as well. Thank you. In knowing that we are, going to revitalize, we are revitalizing our downtown, and if residential units, and those that are already close to downtown, and if residential units become a thing for our downtown, we want to make sure that we are, I know that this will be a live document, but we want to make sure that we're not just planning for right now, but we're looking towards our future as well.
Right. Okay.
With that, is there a motion?
I hereby move to approve ordinance 2026-46 with the amendment for Fridays and Saturday nights from 11 to 12 p.m.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Commissioner Baxter?
I am not in favor of increasing the hours. I think that it would behoove us to see how the social district plays out initially going till 10 o'clock, as well as there may be some confusion with just having the social district extended for 2 nights out of the week to a later time. So I'm not in favor of this at this moment.
Thank you. Any further consideration on that?
I think that just being that we're looking at it, just moving it from Fridays and Saturdays, this is actually a benefit to our businesses and our residents. So I think we do want to take it into consideration. At minimum would be 11 o'clock on Saturdays, but I do think Commissioner Adams has a great point. And regarding the fact that we have a younger crowd that does like to be out, I do take into consideration future residents. So we're not looking at midnight, at least till 11 o'clock. But I do think we need to extend it for both Fridays and Saturday evenings.
We have a motion and we have a second. We have had discussion. Any more discussion? Let's take a roll vote. Commissioner Roa,
Is the time 11 or 12?
the motion that was made for 12.
Not in favor.
Commissioner Baxter,
Not in favor.
Commissioner Adams, Commissioner Davis,
Favor.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Favor.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, can I confirm the time that was in the amendment, because it was kind of hard to hear? On Fridays and Saturdays, correct?
12 a.m.?
12 a.m.
12 a.m., I'm sorry, 12 a.m.
Yeah, 12 p.m. Keep
No,
going.
I support the 12 p.m. I support 12 p.m.
not,
How that worked out?
12 a.m., my apologies, 12 a.m.
Perfectly fine with that, 12 p.m.
Almost had him.
Thank you all so much. And now we will move to old business B, finance. Commissioner Davis pulled that. I think Manager Crosby, are you going to address this? Or, okay, Commissioner Davis, do you have any questions?
No,
You
I just
pulled-
wanted to give Manager Crosby an opportunity to discuss the movement of the funds that we are seeing.
Yes, if you should have your budget books in front of you. On page 147, you'll see the list of projects that we are moving from our capital fund to unassigned fund balance. And that is part of our budget stabilization strategy. If you recall, we have a $2.4 million gap. Funds that we are moving from capital projects are projects that have either not moved forward or they've been completed. And that total, all of those projects total $2.2 million. So that takes care of a significant portion of the gap that we'll be using from fund balance to cover the gap in our budget.
Manager Crosby, thank you so much for finding that, or for looking into that and making sure that we had a good plan on how to move forward, especially with the budget deficit. We appreciate that. Do we have any other questions about that?
If I can add, just for clarification for the public, the board has to take formal action to move funds into a capital project fund, so you have to take formal action to move them out. And so that's what's on the agenda today.
Sure. Thank you. You have any?
Just to understand and making sure, these are areas that have either already been completed or you said that are not going forward?
Either projects that have been completed, projects that have been delayed, or projects where we no longer need the funds because we found other ways to get them done.
Okay. And for those ones that they will still be considered later, the ones that are not being completed at this time, these were items that will come before us later?
Not necessarily. So like the Orendo project, that project is not moving forward. And so that's where that $440,000 I think is in there. There's a Shepherd School project that was completed and the balance left was $500,000. There is some money set aside for land acquisition for a fire station. Some of those funds, in one of the projects, Zebulon South, there's allocation of land that we will likely use for the fire station. So we looked at every project to see where they were in terms of getting done or what our priorities are and determine which ones we thought could go back to fund balance to help cover the gap.
Okay, no further questions.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Baxter?
I'm concerned about moving money from sidewalk projects. One of the things that we have always considered to be very important is having a walkable downtown. And so moving those funds makes me a little bit nervous because these are still projects that need to happen. In addition, I just want to make sure that the Poplar sidewalks are that's not in any way related to the sidewalk funding from the Zebulon South agreement.
I would have to come back to you on the Zebulon South agreement, but what I will say about the projects that, I'll follow up on the Zebulon South. The sidewalk projects and the resurfacing projects, for the resurfacing projects, we only moved funding or closed out the projects that were general fund funded. We do have power bill money that we get every year, so you'll see, I believe, $700,000 allocated for resurfacing in the budget with the power bill money. And for sidewalks, we have about $400,000 in a Greenway fund that's restricted specifically for sidewalks, and so that's why we felt comfortable moving that money back to help cover that, because we still have resources to do sidewalks. If you have other questions, I can look into it.
I would like to get confirmation about the sidewalks before we move forward with the sidewalk portion, if that's the will of the board.
I think there's we can pull the one related to sidewalks, and then we can answer that question during the budget work session on Thursday.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you, and
Or
which one
actually, I'm sorry, Rick, can you answer that question, or do you need to wait till Thursday? There's a question about the poplar sidewalks.
I think it's on the agenda. I don't think it's on the thing.
One time,
Right here.
it hasn't moved forward, but the money was there. I'm not sure what's left after we removed it. I believe the 440 is going towards paving, but I don't know what part of that would cover any
I'm so
sidewalk.
sorry, I'm so sorry, I can't hear you.
Is it better?
No.
Yeah, it might start working.
I was saying,
Right. The sidewalk, the Poplar Street sidewalk money, it was pulled back as far as I know. I don't know of any other sidewalk money for Poplar Street. I can get back with you with that
On
later, just to make
Thursday.
sure. I don't want to misspeak, and Bobby may know more about the sidewalk money. I'm not sure what was pulled back.
Bobby, can you respond to so the thinking was that the money for sidewalks, we had a fund with about $400,000 where we could use that money for sidewalks, so.
Correct. Yeah, there's about $450,000, the Greenway Bicycle Pedestrian Reserve that could be appropriated to this in the future. I think these were budgeted in 25, the Poplar, and I think 26 was the general sidewalk connections. I think we called Fill the Gaps. But the plan was to possibly use those reserves in the future, in nearer future.
So does that answer you? Like, are those reserves a part of the, what was it? I think $350,000 from development, Zebulon South, it was something like that. Anyway, so, Mayor Pro Tem, you have a
I'm just
question?
saying what we can do is just kind of, to give her what she needs. I think you need just a little more time, Town Manager, is that correct?
Say that one more time.
Sounds like you need a little bit more time to make sure the funds are where they're
Yep,
at.
we can follow up on
We
Thursday.
pull that from that if we want to move forward. If not, we can table the whole thing and then come back on Thursday. So it's up to you guys.
I just made a suggestion to
We
the
were
mayor
going to
that
get
we
there.
can
Yeah, we were getting there. So what we will do is we will table this Finance B to Thursday night's budget meeting. So if you guys can make that update and be prepared for those questions. Are there any other questions about this that we want brought back to us? Good, okay. So
We're tabling all 7 items, correct?
Yes, please. Just table all of them. And if any other questions come up, if you all could email Manager Crosby and copy the entire board so that we're aware. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Bobby.
Thank you, Katie. I don't know where we are. All right, we are now going to new business. Nope.
Yes. Oh, bid, did you move it to? I pulled.
C.
Yeah, you pull C, right?
That is, yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're going to go to old business. We're going to stadium, temporary closures for downtown, whatever that is. That's where we're going next. Director Lauer, I would think that would be, or Manager Crosby. Mayor Pro Tem pulled this one. Mayor Pro Tem, you have questions?
I pulled it in discuss. Go ahead.
I can answer it. It was actually, should have been from Director Long. But the reason why did you want to respond or I can respond? This was regarding the street closures.
Basically, I was just, that's Commissioner, we had talked a bit before.
So the street closures are related to the request from the board to have the night markets and the farmer markets. And so since that would be happening over the summer, it's giving the manager authority to be able to do the street closures in order to host those over the summer.
Just for those two?
It's for any markets and night markets, but it's for events downtown, but that was the purpose behind that request. So Director Long is working on coordinating the markets. And it's only for it's only for town-related events.
So it would be you that would be approving all of these street closure events?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's just giving the manager authority.
So do we have the dates and stuff already?
No, she's working on it, but because this was technically the last board meeting before August, even though we have the budget meetings, that's why this request is coming before you.
So can we have those dates before on
Sure.
Thursday? Let's do, I would like to table this too. I mean, I'd like to talk to the board and ask to table this too as well. So we have those dates solid, so when we turn to the authority, because what it does, it takes us out of the picture. So in order to, before we relinquish that to that department, let's find out the dates and kind of go from there. That's what I would like to do. Is up to you guys.
What
doesn't seem to be, yeah.
One thing I might offer up is that you all just give authority until August.
Yeah.
So that way it's not, extended, but it at least allows us to plan for the summer. And then you all will be back in August if we need to have something past August.
Okay.
So we would. From the board?
What do you guys got?
No, I am very comfortable tabling this. Yeah.
So we'll come back with the dates. Is that what you're saying? Until whenever?
I'd just like to learn more about it.
Okay.
What's your date? You're tabling it until?
Are we doing it until the work session?
I don't know that was prepared to talk on Thursday.
We will table this until Thursday for the work session. Mr. Clerk, you got it? Got it? All right, thank you. And so now did I go over everything we moved? Yes. All right. Good deal. Now we're moving on to new business. New business A, zoning map amendment, Mac Todd Road, ordinance 2026-34. Director Lauer. Oh, that's not Director Lauer. All right. Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
So, my name is Aaron Gutterson, the planner 2. Anyhow, good evening, Board of Commissioners and Mayor. I'm here to present the zoning map amendment off of Mac Todd Road, ordinance 2026-34. So when it comes to the zoning map amendment, there's about 4 key standards that zoning map amendments need to meet in UDO section 2.2.25.j. It's whether it meets various health, safety, welfare standards, appropriate for location, reasonable in the public interest, and other relevant factors. The property, as you can see in yellow, has the property address as 0 West Barbie Street. So the PIN number is 1795709-731. The applicant is Sam Nywar, and the property owner is Glenn Todd. The acreage of the property is 0.42 acres. Has a current zoning of heavy commercial, and the proposed zoning is light industrial. As part of the public hearing, when it was presented at the joint public hearing on May 11th, so there was a sign posted in front of the property. Mail notices were sent to property owners within 750 feet. And there was also an ad placed in a paper of general circulation 2 times in the Wake Weekly. So in the map here, as of course shown in yellow, is the current zoning is heavy commercial. The land use designation is suburban commercial. So the light industrial district standards, the purpose section is light industrial district is intended to accommodate various agriculture and light manufacturing uses, including the assembly, fabrication, processing, distribution, storage, and wholesale of finished or semi-finished products from previously prepared materials. It also allows for commercial activities intended to serve the primary business within the district and their employees. Additionally, uses allowed in the district tend not to require large amounts of land, nor large yard areas for isolation or protection from adjoining premises or activities. With heavy industrial or other low-intensity uses, such as single-family home, detached homes prohibited. So here are some examples of permitted heavy commercial district uses. And then here are some examples of the permitted light industrial district uses. And so the comprehensive plan, future land use map alignment, current land use designation of suburban commercial will be changed to light industrial, industrial light. Light industrial district helps to accomplish the goals of the comprehensive plan by allowing for more flexibility by providing more allowances to certain types of heavier commercial uses, and is a better alignment of land use and zoning. Outcomes, changing zoning designation from heavy commercial light industrial, changing the land use designation from suburban commercial light industrial light to align with the zoning designation change, and allowing for more slightly heavier commercial and light industrial uses. So the planning board voted on a recommendation to deny the zoning map amendment at their meeting on May 11, 2026, finding that the zoning was not appropriate for the location where it is proposed. And the applicant's here to make a quick presentation.
Good morning, Madam Mayor, honorable commissioners, and ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adam Nawar. My family and I reside at 685 Williams White Road, Zebulon. And as this wonderful gentleman presented already, we would like to ask for your consideration of rezoning the property on 1075 MacTodd Road. Brief introduction, we are the Family Corner. For over 10 years, we've been a local U-Haul dealership in Youngsville and Lewisburg's communities, offering very important rental services such as box trucks, vans, trailers, for a variety of jobs for the local community there. And we desire today to bring these years of service to the local Zebulon community. This beautiful community has been our newest home for the last couple of years after multiple decades in Lewisburg, Youngsville. We are owned and operated by my amazing single-parent father, my younger brother, and myself. A brief introduction of U-Haul and how that system works. Okay, we're good. A brief introduction of U-Haul. It is the global leading rental equipment company that provides a lot of very important services. To the right, you can see a lot of the equipment we offer for rent. They vary from small pickup trucks and vans for small jobs around the house to large box trucks, allowing you to move your entire home, as well as a variety of trailers for towing and smaller jobs. Customers can book reservations for this equipment either online or via phone call through us. And thanks to our expertly managed remote setup, lock boxes, and state-of-the-art online system, these customers are actually able to pick up 24/7, completely supporting their own schedule. Customers will be able to find a solution for any problem that they might have because we have a specific equipment that's specialized for any sort of job, and it will provide a very important solution to our Zebulon residents. A little bit more specifically on how we'll help Zebulon itself advance forward. As you may know, census data recently has dictated that Zebulon's population has nearly doubled in the last 5 years, which means that the entire history of Zebulon, the demand for these very impactful resources is at its highest. On top of that, to currently align with the Zebulon strategic plan for 2030, that emphasizes the need to preserve the vibrant downtown charm of Zebulon and the small town vibe, but also the need for growing smart in the coming years to come. As the second fastest growing municipality in Wake County, I'm expecting that our population will continue to grow, which only means that these resources are even higher demanded to the locals. If I could direct your attention to the map on the side, in the entirety of Zebulon, there's not a single location where a resident could get any of these moving solutions for any sort of job that they would need. This means that our local community, especially low-income households, have to spend up to, on average, $45 of just mileage to drive to the nearest U-Haul location all the way in Wendell, just to get even a small truck for just moving a few boxes around the house. This is very crucial because this also means that the local community is taking their business outside of Zebulon to the Wendell area with them. So I believe that we have also picked the perfect location on MacTodd Road, being able to service the entirety of Zebulon, where there's a complete absence of these moving utility resources currently. And just a few points that I want to leave you with on my last slide. I want you to think about the eternal utility that we would bring the lovely Zebulon community. People don't just move in and out of their homes, they also move around them a lot. Think about when your family, they need to go get those holiday decorations out of the storage unit that they have up the road, which we actually have a storage unit just 1 minute, a mile down the road. Maybe it's getting a new refrigerator for the kitchen for their kids to put their wonderful artwork on. There's a lot of jobs that need to be done on a day-to-day basis that our resources and services would directly apply to and solve. And it's not just for the residents of the community. We also provide business-to-business support, where 15% of our clientele are local small businesses that don't have the utilities often to run their day-to-day services. Being right up the road from downtown, we'll be able to provide these resources to all the local businesses, further boosting smart growth of the community. I mentioned storage units earlier. There's a lot of storage units sprinkled throughout Zebulon, but as I mentioned, there's not a single place where you could rent the utilities and the resources that you would need to even get to those storage units. So we're the perfect partner for those storage units that are in high demand, with our resources being in even higher demand. And we are in the perfect location to wrap all of it up. Only 1.2 miles out of the center of town, perfectly spaced to where we could serve the entirety of the Zebulon area, but also being able to preserve the downtown vibe and in no way impeding with the visuality of downtown. And that's my presentation. Thank you so much for your time and the honor to stand up here in front of you, and I'm eager to hear any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Do we have any questions from the board for our planning department or our applicant? Commissioner Roa?
Director Lauer, was the planning board's vote unanimous?
Yes, it was. It was unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it? Commissioner Baxter?
I know that some of the uses for light industrial were put on the screen. Did you happen to have the full list of light industrial uses in one of your slides?
It was just a selection of them, but I can
55.
back. So I have them up on the board, or those are just like a limited examples of permitted by right light industrial uses.
That portion. I've got it pulled up on our UDO right now, so I was just wondering if it was part of the presentation.
Yeah, it was just examples, just a few on there.
Commissioner Baxter, is that what you
No, that's fine. Thank you.
I'm just going to make sure what the staff report reflects with the planning board vote, but I believe it was unanimous.
Thank you. You have anything? No. Commissioner Davis?
I was going to ask a question regarding with the language with changing this to light industrial. If the applicant decided to not use this as a U-Haul parcel, that open up opportunities for them to use this as.
Any uses that are in light industrial that are permitted, they could use it for.
So with that being said, wanting to support a business, if a business is trying to grow, what would it look like, Director Lauer, you might have to change this, if we would be able to add any additional language so that this would be strictly towards what the usage that they're requesting for?
Can't do that.
So the way that planning and zoning works is within a zone, you have a certain number of uses that are entitled if you own a property or have rights to develop a property within that zone. So the uses are governed by the UDO. If an applicant chooses to pursue deviations from the code, that's when that becomes a policy process, then it involves the board, because effectively when you're deviating from the code, you're creating a new policy or ordinance. And so, for example, a property that is currently commercial, right, could be any of these things and much more. Obviously, the list would take several slides, but these are very different types of things, right? A car dealership is a little bit different than a grocery store, a little bit different than a veterinary clinic. But when the UDO and zoning districts are assembled, I mean, there's a degree of science behind how they're assembled, as urban planners are trained to think about how people shop and people move about their communities. And so these aren't built they're not built randomly, right? So if it were to be changed to light industrial, yeah, the list of permitted uses that someone could do on a property in which they have development rights to does look different. And it varies as greatly as it varies in the commercial district. So obviously car dealers are a little bit different than gas stations. Warehouses are a little bit different than plastic fabrication, right? And so the range is assembled in a manner that is reflective of urban planning best practice, at least at the time that the UDO was written. I mean, ours is not very old. Ours is only 5 years old. And so, so to make that long story short, you are entitled to build, provided you comply with the entirety of the UDO, any use that is allowed by right on that district. You can apply to do other things. So let's say let's say the board chooses to approve this application. Then the applicant would have to submit to us a site plan. If that site plan, if they have issues meeting the UDO with that site plan, they have two choices, right? The first choice is that they just don't build the project. The second choice is that they request deviations from the code, and then it comes back to you. And so there or if they comply with the site plan, then it advances, right? And so, yes, there is a wide range of things under each zoning district. Those things aren't randomly placed, though. There's a degree of science behind how they're implemented, and having a industrial zoning district doesn't automatically permit anything.
To you, Commissioner Baxter.
Okay, so, I'm sorry, Matt, it's going to be a question for you. I need to understand why this zoning is needed, the light industrial. Which one is it going to be designated? Because under heavy commercial, there is automotive rentals, which I'm assuming that's what U-Haul is, an automotive rental. So why can't they just put it there by right?
Certain size trucks that U-Haul rents don't qualify as automotive under a code. They're heavy enough to be classified as heavy equipment.
I'm sorry, they're classified as heavy equipment?
So to rent something that classifies under heavy equipment, it would need to be rezoned to light industrial.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Commissioner Roa?
No, ma'am.
Mayor Pro Tem?
No question this time, Madam Mayor.
Any other questions or discussion from the board? Is there a motion? Hearing no motion. Is there a discussion? Is there a table? Is there a denial of a motion? What is the pleasure of the board?
This always circles, Madam Mayor.
Sure.
This always circles back to that, we assign this task to the planning board. The planning board comes to a resolution unanimously. It comes before the board. Coming from the planning board, myself and Commissioner Adams, I feel it's a major disservice to ask people to take time out of their day to do something and then dismiss their outcome. Now, barring any grievous, misunderstanding or missing information or something, but that's why I asked Director Lauer what the deal was, and I don't know what the pleasure of the board is, but I just wanted to bring that up because we've done that as a board several times, and I have talked to some of the planning board members, and they have asked, why. And I think, we should make a concerted effort to be more considerate of the people that we ask to do these things.
Thank you, Commissioner Roa. Commissioner Baxter.
Just for clarity, I did also come from the planning board, and I understand what you're saying. For me, and it happened several times when I was on the planning board as well, I would love this project to move forward. I am just concerned with the possibility that having the designation as light industrial could mean that at some point it gets redeveloped into something that is very incongruous with the area in which it's located.
So are you all, for the applicant, are you all unable to occupy or to run your business from this location? Are you unable to run it at all? Like, can you run it on a modified way since it would be your second location? Or are you just unable to operate your business as it is right now at all here?
Yes, ma'am. So, unfortunately, we're not at liberty to kind of exclude certain rental equipment from our location. We kind of just need to offer all of those services. And the larger equipment that is up for debate is very impactful. That's, allows you to move your entire house in one move. So I think it would really hinder the services we're able to offer if we had to exclude that.
Okay, thank you.
Am I allowed to add a couple more words? Or?
Sure.
Yeah. As for the planning board's decision to be unanimous, I don't know if it changes much, but I was not present at the last board meeting. And my dad, he's very humble, so he won't admit this, but he takes a lot of pride in his work, but I don't think he's had the opportunity to have the honor to stand up in front of a board like the planning committee. So I do believe that maybe he was slightly unprepared. I don't believe he had a slideshow presentation prepared. So I'm not surprised by the unanimous decision because I believe there was not enough information there. So I believe that may have driven their decision. Just wanted to add that.
Redirect this back to the planning board?
No.
I don't think you do.
Great.
What I think
All right.
his concern is just like what you're saying, the future use is what we're looking beyond,
Yeah.
because say you get U-Haul there, they don't succeed. We want the business to succeed, but
Right.
something in, but once you rezone it, you kind of open up you open up the floodgates of what can come behind them. There's nothing towards U-Haul at all. So,
In response to Commissioner Roa, it's never the board wanting to go against. We take full consideration of what the planning board states in their recommendation. I think in this situation, obviously want to see a business succeed. We're just trying to figure out the right way to do that based upon the language that comes with rezoning this to light industrial and exactly what was just stated. This business afterwards, we're excited for what can take place right now, but what would happen in the future, we always have to think ahead if this changes something else, and that won't come before us. So that's what the consideration, I think, is at this point.
Thank you. With that being said, is there a motion? Commissioner Adams, did you have anything?
I come from the planning board as well, so I just believe that charity starts at home and is spread abroad. I believe in helping us first because we all we got, right, type of scenario. So, but then I share the same sentiment as the board as what would happen if this didn't fall through. So but I just believe in, helping one another, us spreading the love, showing, I don't want to see you guys go to another city and be productive, right? But at the same time, yeah, that's a tough decision, yes.
Matt, any suggestions?
I can add one point of clarification. As you look at the range of things that may be developed in any zone, right? And in this particular case, light industrial, there are other limiting factors. This lot is only 0.42 acres, right? So the likelihood that a single light industrial lot that's 0.42 acres is going to become a plastics manufacturer is very low. So in the interest of due process, interest in explaining some of the realities of how urban economics work, I think that's just something the board should consider. Just because the list of uses is listed doesn't necessarily necessarily mean it's even feasible as well.
I mean, that's not going to change the fact, is it?
And if we table it, we're not
Yeah,
changing
you're not changing
anything.
anything.
You're not changing anything, so it's,
Go for it.
it's a hard
Would you
one.
like to say something else?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Just to add a little bit more of like personality to the business, we, like I mentioned, my dad is a single parent, and he's been providing for me and my brother for years, utilizing the U-Haul business model. And really just, I'm very proud of the work that he's done for the last few years, and even becoming a top 10 rated dealer in the state. So with that in mind, like U-Haul, at least in our lives, is going to stick around for a while. And if we do commit to this property, we will be there for a while, providing this service to the local community. And if there's anything that we could do in paperwork to kind of ensure that even beyond our time, that the preservation of Zebulon in the manner that you guys deem fit can be held, then we would love to like be part of that due process and paperwork that can be fulfilled.
Thank you.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion. I hereby make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-34 for 0 West Barbie Street, Mac Todd Road, finding the standards of section 2.2.25.j have been met. And the request is consistent with the comprehensive land use plan.
I'd like to second that, Mayor.
Thank you. We have a motion. We have a second. Let's do a roll vote. Commissioner Baxter.
Commissioner Adams?
Approved.
Commissioner Davis.
Favor.
Commissioner Roa. Mayor Pro Tem.
Favor.
Motion passes. Thank you. Welcome to Zebulon. And now we will go to, I will let Mayor Pro Tem and Commissioner Roa finish.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for letting us finish.
No problem. We are going to new business B, annexation request for East Horton Street.
Hi. Before we begin this presentation, I would like for the town board to let the applicant speak before the public hearing session.
Thank you. Before we allow the applicant to speak, we're going to take a 10-minute recess. Thank you. Yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry. I mean, it's not bad. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. It's just sorry. Yeah, it's kind of let's go for it.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad I could help you.
They're in there now.
They're in
Ready?
there. That's what I'm telling you.
Jeremy, you didn't tell me about my chips.
I tried to tell you when he was talking with Baxter.
They're holding a candlelight vigil downstairs.
Are they waiting?
The planning board with your face on it. Just
I blame Abby.
what happened to him?
You the one told me. You encouraged me. You motivated me.
Oh, I know, we're eating. Y'all know what happened.
That's fine. I'm hungry. Next time we'll upgrade.
Well, you thought we were laughing at.
You never know what y'all doing. I just can't hear because y'all be playing.
Yeah. It's just you don't know how to whisper.
No, you really don't.
You don't.
You don't.
That's
And
the
it's
thing you don't have.
distracting.
And it is distracting.
Like we
We can hear you guys, so we can say this. We can hear you.
But you guys are constant.
And y'all be
Here you guys go.
It's not you guys.
Say, y'all like every 2 minutes, y'all like.
That's not true.
I'm like, oh my God. And it's only like y'all saying one thing. Y'all have like a whole discussion.
like, that's why I can be like, yeah, okay, Commissioner, that's right. 'Cause I can hear y'all.
You know. You don't know how to whisper. Blowing up our spot.
Throwing you under the bus, man. Yeah.
Boy, I tell you.
Reconvene. Thank you all so much for allowing us that recess. Please continue.
Board of Commissioners. Tonight we have a annexation request for a property on East Horton Street. The property that is being requested for the annexation is highlighted here on the image on the left of the screen. The applicant is Caruso Homes. The property owners are James Upchurch, Janice Lee, and Jimmy Lee. The property address is 705 East Horton Street. The number is 2705-858-411. The site consists of 28.50 acres. Public hearing notification. Public hearing sign was posted on the front of the property. Mailed notices were sent to property owners within 750 feet of the site. A newspaper article was sent out on the Wake Weekly. This map shows the annexation requested property and that it is currently in the town's ETJ. And the northwestern portion of the side, it is next to a parcel that is currently in the town's corporate limits, highlighted in the darker red. This map shows that the site is currently zoned as residential suburban, R2. Fiscal analysis of the site, if you all as the board are to approve this annexation request, the proposed property tax would be $99,244. The vehicle tax revenue would be around $2,580. And the total projected annual revenue would be $101,824. Now, the cost for the town for fire operations and public work expenses would be around $9,900. The police costs, we want to acknowledge the change in the final number from the staff report to the presentation. While this site alone at build-out will not generate the need for a new officer, the additional population generated by the site will account for 29.5% of a new officer and will need to be accommodated in future fiscal years. The full cost of the future officer will not need to be accounted for until the town's total new development generates 400 new residents. Upon reflection, staff thought it was important to capture the impact of the site on the future need for an additional officer in order to fully consider the potential fiscal impact of the site. And the police costs for the site would be estimated at $30,975, and the total projected expenditures would be $40,875. The 5% contingency on the property tax assumption is $4,962, and full build-out projected, the net annual tax revenue for the site would be $55,987. $7. And I'm going to hand it over to Director Matt Lauer for additional information on that.
Yeah, I just want to explain the discrepancy in the staff report versus what's on your page in terms of annual revenue for the town. Manager Crosby had asked the planning department to put together a development-wide fiscal impact analysis, not just looking at the fiscal impact of all of our current developments, but also how we project them over time. And so that created some internal conversation about how do we account for certain costs that one development alone doesn't trigger. And so the initial number in the staff report reflects one model, but upon review, it was clear that we need to evaluate this project under the same model that we have shared publicly with the past 2 annexations. And so it is reasonable to suspect that this development will generate at least $56,000 annually in property tax revenue when it is built. After we continue to refine costs, it's likely that that will increase slightly closer to the $80,000 number in your staff report. But using the same metric that we've publicly shared, this is the number that we ask you to consider today.
All right. Thank you, Matt. The annexation standards per UDO section 222G are as follows. Number 1, owner approval. Number 2, if services can be provided for the site. Number 3, if the site has any debt obligations. And number 4, public health, safety, and welfare. Staff recommends approval of the proposed annexation and adoption of Ordinance 2026-35 if the board finds that the standards of Section 222G are met. And staff will be happy to answer any questions from the board.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board? Commissioner Baxter?
Are we receiving a presentation from the applicant?
Yes, yeah, the applicant will speak before the public hearing session starts.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Adams? Commissioner Davis?
No questions at this
Commissioner Roa?
No, ma'am.
Mayor Pro Tem?
None at this time, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. All right.
Good evening. My name is Patrick Bussey, and I work for Caruso Homes, representing for the applicant for this annexation. So just understanding the town's responsibility to have growth in a responsible way, I just wanted to point out some things about this particular subdivision that you may or may not know. So regarding density and traffic, it's only going to be 43 lots, so it's going to be very minimal traffic impact on the town. For environmental concerns, there's 28 acres here. 60% of it will remain untouched and in its natural state. As far as police and fire goes, it's located right outside of town, about a mile from the fire department. And lastly, as far as infrastructure, tax burden, these lots will be 50 feet wide, so very minimal road frontage. And the tax revenue received will most likely have it'll subsidize infrastructure because there will be a surplus from that. So if you have any questions, I'm here to answer whatever I can, and thanks for your time.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions for the applicant at this time? Anyone? Anyone? All right. Thank you. At this time, I will open the public hearing. If there is anyone present who at this time, I will open the public hearing. The public hearing is the opportunity for the public to express thoughts, ideas, concerns, and opinions regarding the proposed request to the Board of Commissioners. The Board of Commissioners, staff, and applicant will not engage in dialogue at this time. If the public has questions pertaining to the annexation request, please contact town staff or the applicant following the annexation public hearing. At this time, we are opening the public hearing. If there is anyone present who wishes to speak in favor of the proposed annexation, please come to the podium to my right and state your name and address for the board. Mr. Clerk, do we have any emails in opposition?
We do not, Madam Mayor.
If there is anyone present who wishes to speak in opposition to the proposed annexation, please come to the podium to address the board. Please state your name and address. Hearing none. Are there any email?
There were no emails in any way for this.
Gotcha. Okay. If there is anyone present who wishes to speak neither in favor or in opposition to the opposed annexation, please come to the podium, state your name and address to address the board.
My name is David Hughes. I live at 900 East Horton Street in Zebulon. I'm neither for or against it. I kind of touched base with you before on the phone.
Mr. Hughes, let me grab you a microphone 1 second so the people online can hear you.
Thank you. Like I said, my name is David Hughes, 900 East Horton Street in Zebulon. I'm neither for or against the development. Give you a little bit of history. Some of you know me. I've been a residential designer for 40 years. So I'm all in favor of housing. So, but it needs to be controlled. But I was just concerned because our family owns property adjoining this on either side and across the road from where the utilities will be coming from. I understand the sewer line is going to be coming from the backside of the property, but the water line is going to have to come up Horton Street. So that's why I read that general statute that I did earlier, because our family land is in the voluntary ag district. Now, if the developer stays within the easement, I understand, he doesn't have to do that, but I don't know that this board or the planning board or the town planning staff has ever experienced a voluntary ag district. My father-in-law tried for years to get it in the ag district and was denied for year after year after year, and finally it got approved. So it's been in the voluntary ag district for years, and it was there for a purpose. It is to preserve our family's land. So the general statute of North Carolina states that if you are condemning any of the land, we cannot completely stop the government entity from condemning farmland. They mandate a strict review process and waiting period to ensure all alternatives have been exhausted. So we're just concerned that where the water line is going to come through our property, or if it stays within the easement, we haven't seen any plans for that. That's why we're bringing it to your attention, because if it does, then it has to go before this board, not just you, but it has to be approved for them to come back to you. That is the North Carolina general statute. So I don't know if you've ever experienced that before. So I was just bringing that to your attention. The second thing is being in architecture. I know it's an old tobacco barn, but I'm still in love with old things. And it was built in the early 1920s. It's a terracotta brick barn. You don't see hardly any of those. They're extremely rare in our state because farmers back then didn't have the money, but whoever this was that built this had some money to be able to put a barn like that. I would like to see it stay as a focal point. It's right there on the road. It's right where the entrance is going to be. The developer showed me the site plan during your break, and it looks like it's coming right beside it. So it could be a focal point, whether they preserve the barn or if they actually reclaim the brick. They could use it as part of the entrance sign. Instead of brick or stone like everybody else is doing, or wood, they could preserve the heritage of that. So those are just my two concerns that I've been looking at, was the easement for the water line and to preserve what's already been there for years. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hughes. Are there any others wishing to speak neither in favor or of opposition for this proposed annexation? At this time, I will close the public hearing. Do we have a motion for consideration from the board?
Madam Mayor. I move to approve ordinance 2026-35 for the annexation of Wake County PIN 2705858411 into the Zebulon corporate boundaries, finding that the standards of section 2.2.2.g are met.
Thank you, Commissioner Roa. We have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion.
I have a question. Can we also, is it feasible to actually honor the barn and include that into the approved amendment.
Proposed subdivision, should the board choose to approve this annexation, will be what's called a conservation subdivision. What that does is it may achieve something similar to the intent of the speaker was describing earlier. What a conservation subdivision is it requires 50% of the property to remain untouched, and we also do not allow mass grading in a subdivision. So that doesn't mean they can just clear the space in which houses were built. There's some additional steps. So 50% of the land will be reserved in a conservation status in perpetuity or until there's another attempt to re-subdivide the property, which would involve the public in that through your representation of them.
Was your question about the barn, though?
I think, oh, go ahead.
So it's about the barn itself, keeping the barn in some type of aspect in honor of what Mr. Davis is speaking on.
Sure. As the town planning director, I don't have any particular tools to either promote or, I guess, promote the demolition or the preservation of the barn.
Is the applicant able to, thank you, Mr. Bussey.
As a representative of the developer and builder, I would be willing to work for the request of maybe, because it's in a location right now that it's where we're going to build. But he mentioned possibly putting it as the, we're repurposing some of it for the entranceway monument or something like that. And I don't have the answer right now, but I like that idea.
Okay.
That's my question.
Commissioner Baxter, you had something? All right. Mayor Pro?
I may be premature here, but one of the things we talked about, I know, and maybe coming up later on, I did speak with some of the fellow commissioners as well. We talked about trying to get a potential, like a workforce housing type thing, one or two of the units. I don't know if I would be discussing it here or a little bit later, but I would like to put that out there too as well. We did talk like amongst ourselves, and some of us wanted consensus that we could find some way to incentivize that. I don't know what we could do, Matt, to potentially, one of the driving forces is we're looking to where police, fires, and teachers and whatever can live in the area, so we're finding incentivized, so we're looking at too as well, Matt.
Sure, and when we talk to applicants that are interested in a buy right process, we certainly communicate these needs to them because they're not just needs of this board as its current makeup, but it is baked into our policy documents as well. Okay. And so there are the policies and priorities about creating a Zebulon where everybody can live, work, and play, and those are baked into the conversations that we have with applicants. I would also defer to the city attorney, but it is our understanding as a planning department that annexations cannot be conditioned. So it's either an up or a down.
Thank you. We have a motion. We have a second. Roll vote. Commissioner Baxter? Favor. Commissioner Adams? Commissioner Davis? Favor. Commissioner Roa? Favor. Mayor Pro Tem? Favor. Motion passes. Thank you. Unanimously. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. All right. Next, we will have UDO text amendments. New business C. Kate?
Do we need to switch mics or?
No, you're good. You're just going to have to talk very loud, Kate.
I can do that.
Okay.
I used to do acting in high school, so I'll bring out my projection here. All right, so I'm here to discuss the UDO text amendment, mobile classrooms, ordinance 2026-36. So just a little bit of background. This was seen before you at the May joint public hearing. The text amendment was initiated by Wake County Public School Systems. As you know, Zebulon is experiencing continued growth and development, and periodic updates to the UDO are necessary to address evolving needs. During the review of the request to place mobile classroom units on an existing school site, staff determined that the application could not be supported under the current requirements of the Unified Development Ordinance, as the ordinance does not clearly define or permit this type of temporary educational use. In review and preparation for this UDO text amendment, staff worked with Wake County and reviewed some of the UDOs from nearby municipalities. Some comparable approaches were identified in the town of Morrisville, the town of Cary, and the town of Holly Springs. These cases established precedent for regulating temporary classroom structures in Wake County. So the text that was proposed here is the text that was proposed by Wake County. Mobile classrooms. Mobile classrooms are permitted on the site of an existing school, subject to the following standards. Mobile classrooms shall be permitted as a temporary use, expansion of classroom space until permanent classroom space is available. All permits required by applicable building, electrical, plumbing, and mechanical codes shall be obtained prior to the placement of the mobile classrooms. The text amendment creates a mechanism to temporarily expand number of classrooms while ensuring alignment with long-term plans for permanent school facility expansion. Additionally, the applicant has proposed a revision to section 5.3.1.c, which is the section that talks about the commercial design standards, adding mobile classrooms to the exempted uses. The outcomes, if you choose to approve this text amendment tonight, will allow for the establishment of a temporary solution to school capacity, will help streamline review and the approval process, and will ensure alignment with regional best practices. This is where it gets a little funky. So the Planning Board recommended approval of the text amendment with the additional condition that the duration of the permit be limited to 10 years, with the option for an extension upon expiration, subject to the approval of the Board of Commissioners. Staff has taken a moment to write this up as it would look in addition to what Wake County proposed, which would be item number 3. A mobile classroom will only be allowed for a duration of 10 years unless extended by the Board of Commissioners. Staff recommends approval of the proposed text amendment to the Unified Development Ordinance. The amendment, initiated by the Wake County Public School System, addresses a demonstrated gap in the current ordinance by establishing a clear and effective process for permitting temporary classroom structures on school sites. Now I'm here to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Kate. Any questions from the board? Mayor Pro Tem?
So with the 10-year, Kate, what does that look like? It'll just be something in the UDO saying, okay, per 10 years, you have to come back, we'll go out and do assessment, or and if somebody will regulate it, I mean.
So, yeah, so how we have it written right now would allow us as the planning department to allow it for 10 years without having to come before you guys, help lighten your load a little bit, right? But then once that 10-year mark hits, the idea would be that there would be a review process by the Board of Commissioners to determine whether that period should be extended or not for that particular case. So that's where it kind of marries the process of a by right process, which is what staff can approve, which is that initial 10 years, and then a legislative process that would allow for extending that period.
So there'll be a specific chart where somebody pretty much attract, say start today, 10 years from 2036, somebody in planning somewhere down the road, where we said, okay, it's time to go check out this trailer, make sure, this mobile, to make sure it's good to go.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Any other questions from the board? Hearing none. Is there a motion?
Can you put a second motion? I make a motion to approve.
There you go.
I have a move to approve ordinance 2026-36, finding that the standards of UDO.
So there's two motions. The one on the top, yeah.
Correct? What you presented to us? Okay.
I presented two options. I presented option number 1, which is to adopt what Wake County proposed, right? So that's motion number 1. Motion number 2 is with the recommendation as amended by the Planning Board.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Start over again. I hereby move to approve ordinance 2026-36 as amended by the Planning Board recommendation, finding that the standards of UDO 2.2.21.g have been met, and the request is consistent with the comprehensive land use plan.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Matt.
I think this is the last time, at least at this podium. Is this working? Is this okay?
Yes, you're good. All right. New business D, small area plans and downtown master plan.
This is an opportunity to answer any additional questions about what staff has presented related to the small area and downtown master plans, and consider a motion to authorize the town manager to negotiate and execute a contract with Nexus Planning Services. And the contract will be with Nexus Planning Services, but it involves a greater team at an amount no greater than $265,000, which is the
effectively the leftover professional services dollars from the admin budget, from the economic development budget, and from my budget.
Thank you, Matt. Commissioner Roa?
This is just for one of the two plans?
This is for all three.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
To that. We had talked about internally how to structure the RFP. And the conclusion was it's important that since this one community is made up of many different neighborhoods, it was important that all three go through the same process, are managed by the same group of consultants. So at the end of the day, they all talk to each other. And we strengthen each individual sub-area or small area rather than having three disjunct processes. So yes, this is for all three for that reason.
Commissioner Baxter?
Is this a fixed price, or does this contain a contingency?
This is a do not exceed price on the contract, and it is based off of what is left in the budget for this activity.
All right, thank you.
Adams? Commissioner Davis?
No question.
Mayor Pro Tem?
No question this time, Madam Mayor.
Is there a motion?
You just need to move a
Oh,
directive.
all right. Somebody do something.
I'd like to give a directive to authorize the town manager to negotiate and execute a contract with Nexus Planning Service and not to exceed the amount of $265,000.
Manager Crosby, you have direction from the board. Is that the consensus of the board? It is not a motion, but it is a consensus. Commissioner Baxter? Sure. Adams? Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Roa?
Not to exceed 265.
Hold if you want.
In red. In red, please.
Mayor Pro Tem? Thank you. Thank you for the direction. And now we will have our manager's report. Manager Crosby?
Well, what was in my manager's report was to speak to the upcoming small business event that we're having in the lobby of Town Hall on June 16th. It's an opportunity for small businesses in the Zebulon community and those that are interested in doing business in our community to come and meet town staff and leadership, and also chamber leadership, and to get to know what's happening in our community, as well as give us an opportunity to hear back from those businesses. That will also kick off a quarterly partnership with the chamber to do roundtables with small businesses by industry for us to hear from them and give them insight on what's happening with the town, but also to learn more about how we can be of assistance. So very excited to kick that off, and looking forward to having you all join us from 5 to 7 on June 16th. It'll be in the lobby of Town Hall.
Thank you, Manager Crosby, and thank you for your team for putting that together. Does that conclude the manager's report?
That concludes the manager's report.
Thank you. Board comments.
What is the town manager's direction for economic development? Are we looking to fill any spots or positions there?
For right now, the plan is to work with the team to come up with our economic development strategy. We've met with Wake County. We're in the process of meeting with Wake County Economic Development and the Wake County Chamber to talk to them about partnership with Zebulon. They're very interested in working with us because of the growth. We also have identified 5 priority areas for economic development. 3 of them we just spoke to this evening: the Wakefield area, the West Gannon area, downtown master plan. We've already started conversations with CBC, and we're going to be meeting with them within the next week to talk about developing out an entertainment district. And then we've also met with the Triangle Business Park within the last week to talk to them about availability of space. So our goal right now is to really work through developing out our strategy for the next year, and then using that as an opportunity to identify the skill set that we're looking for the director position. And then that person would be responsible for hiring the second position in the department. And my goal is to start that process before the end of the summer, early fall.
No, you good? I was laughing at Mayor Pro Tem Growling. You good? Manager's report? Is that, you conclude the manager's report?
I was just-
Board comments, I'm sorry. Mayor Pro Tem growled and it threw me off, so I apologize.
I would just add one additional thing. We are planning around September or October work session to have an update on community and economic development. And so by that time, we should have a full strategy worked out. We'll have an update on what's happening with our small area plans, but very excited about the direction that we're going. And I think the board will be happy with that as well.
The other thing I had for the board comments, do we have anything planned for the 4th of July?
We don't have anything specifically planned for the 4th of July, but we are working through a celebration honoring the 250th anniversary of the country. And actually, I don't know, Heather's in the back, but she's working on planning something for that. So more to come on that.
Okay. And then I guess lastly, I just want to say, thank you to the planning board that came back with that, with the mobile classrooms. We had that discussion about putting a limit on there, and they amended it to include at least 10 years, so that's good. Thank you. But overall, yeah, that's all.
Please, can you speak to the 4th of July or the event, what you're doing?
Still in the works, and I'm working with our Parks and Recs director on this. It probably won't be the 4th of July. However, we were inspired by the veterans that we have in the town of Zebulon, and we're looking into exploring how to celebrate that with Veterans Day. And one of the things is we're looking into doing a documentary based on the veterans in the Zebulon community and work with the American Legion, is that correct? Post, the local group, and also get with the local VA and looking into explore how we can make it a full circle event for the citizens of Zebulon and bring everyone together. A little bit different, but.
Thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner Baxter?
Yes. Thank you. So on May 26th, I welcomed Brian Young, a rising junior at Brown University, as a Devil Dogs pitcher, number 32. And I encourage every single person in the town of Zebulon to go out and cheer for him. He is doing an excellent job, and I'm excited to watch him play over the summer. And speaking of a 4th of July celebration, the Devil Dogs are playing on the 4th of July at home. So we can all celebrate by going to a game. We had a wonderful Star Wars night at the stadium. That was a heck of a lot of fun. And I look forward to seeing the kids develop their skills over the summer, and have been enjoying watching them play. And what I kind of appreciate about going to Devil Dogs games now as opposed to when they were the Mudcats, and I loved the Mudcats, is that as the players progress and they get better, they're not going to get scooped up and brought up by the Brewers to play on another team. We get to watch them play and be awesome all season long. I would like to wish everyone, because it is June, a very, very happy Pride Month. This is a time of year that we get to celebrate people of the LGBTQ plus communities and offer them our support as they go and celebrate themselves. I would also like to know, Manager Crosby, when we can expect, I heard you talk about the economic development position and what you were going to be doing leading up to that. When can we expect a hire?
So my goal is not to post until the end of the summer, early fall, because I want to take some time to really understand what our strategy is going to be, present that to the board, and then use that to really guide what the director position will focus on and what skill sets we're looking for.
I think that it's really, really important that we work with a sense of urgency to fill that position. I am tremendously invested in how we move forward with economic development, and I want to make sure that, of course, that we're doing it correctly, but I want to make sure that we have someone on the team that is actively working towards our best interests and not putting undue burden on like the planning department and some of the other department heads.
Understood.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner Baxter. Commissioner Adams?
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. He mocking you.
I just wanted to thank the board, the mayor, and Miss Katie. I was out last week with an illness, and I couldn't attend the meeting, and I was in the hospital listening to the meeting. I'm like, man, I want to be here, but I'm just definitely proud of the board. Thank you guys for calling me, reaching out to me. That meant a lot. I got up to dates on everything, and when it was over, I'm like, all right, Amber, you better give a brother a call. So I'm in the hospital, like, Amber, what's going on? I said, it's going on. So, but it's just good to know that we're just not just friends, but we're family. And to me, that speaks volume, because I always say at the end of the day, we're all we got, right? So when they reach out to me and the mayor reaches out to me, then the town manager it makes me feel like, okay, we're family now. So with that being said, I'm better and happy and handsome. That's all I have. That's all I have.
Is that it?
That's all I got.
Thank you. Commissioner Davis?
No, not a lot of comments. It is June, so I'm excited, probably more than ever, to say it is graduation season.
It is graduation.
It is upon us. We've already had a couple of graduations we've attended. The one I'm looking forward to the most is East Wake High, as my daughter will get ready to walk across that stage. So bear with me. I'll be crying and smiling at the same time. But yes, I always want to say congratulations to all of our graduates and their accomplishments and wish them the best endeavors. It has been a busy past month at East Wake High. We just had senior picnic this past Friday, and want to just give a thanks to the community that came out and showed support from our businesses, local businesses that provided sponsorships and meals, and then those that just came and volunteered. It is a big time for our kids, so you know I'm always about pouring into our youth. And of course, for the month of June, I would always wish all the men happy Father's Day. You're welcome. That was for all the men. And you just threw me off. I had one more thing that was directed for Katie, and I forgot. You can come back to me.
All right. Mayor Pro Tem?
You guys up? No.
Did I didn't call you? No. Oh, okay.
Be a hard time.
Okay.
First, I'll start off by definitely welcoming Kyle back. As I said, we did miss you. You know, we had a meeting. Had it in my notes to kind of welcome you back. Welcome back. Glad you're back. Second, I had the opportunity to do a little walk on Saturday and was very impressed with the community of Sydney Creek. Got a chance to go into some yards and just kind of like, and people were showing, ranging from showing gardens to see community engagement where people really want to know what's going on. It was very impressive. Just from young entrepreneurs starting new juicing companies, that community had a lot going on. So it was just an opportunity to give a shout out right now. I seized that, and I advise everybody else to do the same thing. The community's big. Not only that community, but all communities, but I had a chance on Saturday to do that. Then with that said, the community garden, I'm not sure where we're at on the community garden. I know before we had funding for that. To be impressed with it, I think I've had at least a total in 2 days, at least 6 citizens show me their garden, excited, asking for a community garden. So I like to put that bug back out amongst the board, that there is a need, a desire for a community garden. So I don't know what that looks like, but we'd love to have that discussion in the future. I too sentiment what you're saying, Commissioner Baxter and Roy as well. The economic development is a very important position. Putting somebody in that place in a timely manner is going to be key right now. Everything I have coming towards me is that when you're going to give people something to do here. So that is that person, that conduit, I believe, is going to make that happen. So that position is very important to put somebody in that place. Last but not least, we had opportunity out. I think each one of us has a chance to present to the nonprofits that were awarded the funding. That was a very moving moment to see those nonprofit representatives excited and ready to do more things with that funding in the community and give back. It was a great opportunity to do that. With that said, I personally thank each one of my board members as we continue to work together for the greater good of the town of Zebulon. It's an honor to be able to get on the phone and call each one of you up and discuss things and see how we're going to move Zebulon forward for the greater good. As always, unity through community.
was about to say, if you didn't close with that, I was going to come back to you. All right, thank you. Thank you to all the board. A few things that I have. A lot of fellow board members spoke in regards to, did you need me to come back to you?
You can, go ahead. No, don't.
Spoke in regards to economic development, and I'm very excited to share that we will be starting a mayor's economic development committee beginning in August. Commissioner Roa has worked to pull together some information for me, and I've shared it with the majority of the board. And so we will be starting this committee not to take the place of any committee that we currently have, but to give us more insight and community feedback on economic development. I have a chair in mind, so I'll call him next week to see if he says yes. Looking at you, Larry. All right. Moving forward, I would like to announce the Mayor's Youth Council. Our Mayor's Youth Council is going to be a civic and leadership group for our youth here in Zebulon and those that go to school here in Zebulon. It is open to middle and high schoolers, and it will be, our first interest meeting will be tomorrow night, June 2nd at 6 p.m. The Mayor's Youth Council will be something very similar to what you see here. So we will have, 6 youth. We'll have a junior mayor pro tem, junior commissioners, a junior mayor, a junior clerk, manager, and a junior attorney. So if you have youth in the area that are middle and high schoolers, please bring them to the interest meeting. There's currently an application online. It is on all of our social media sites, and we have a landing page for it, I think. Yes, we do. And so would love to see you all bring out the youth and just spread the word, because I'm very, very excited to introduce our youth to government, to leadership, and to just educating them on what it takes to do what we do, and hoping that information that we educate them with will trickle out into the community. Also, there was a comment that was made earlier in regards to the lanes here on US 64, and I just wanted to let you all know that Manager Crosby and I have had an opportunity to meet with Campo, TCC, and there are plans to extend these roads. Now, we don't have a date, of course, but those representatives who came and sat with us, there are plans to add lanes to these roads because they do understand the congestion that we are all facing. Juneteenth, we will have, this year we will be hosting a three-day Juneteenth event. It will begin on June 18th. That it will be the education night. Our theme this year is to celebrate and educate. So Thursday night will be the education piece. Friday night will be an art walk, very similar to downtown Raleigh's art walk, where you'll go to different galleries to view artwork. But instead of galleries, our Zebulon businesses downtown have agreed to host an artist within their businesses. And Jernigan's Furniture will host our featured artist on the second floor. And so this is an opportunity for collaboration within our community and to bring more vibrancy and art to downtown. That Saturday, we will have a concert celebration at Nomeco Park. And so we have a featured artist, we'll have Zumba, we'll have bouncy houses for the kids. It's going to be a great day, so I hope that you all can join us. And lastly, I want to thank our manager as well as Director Long. Last week, I called them in a frenzy because I had a senator that reached out that wanted a report in case they make some appropriations to Zebulon in order to help fund our Gill Street Park project. And within a 24-hour window, they were able to give me a very quick turnaround, and we were able to submit this request for funds. So fingers crossed, prayers up that we get those. That is all for me. Commissioner Davis, and I need to come back to you.
No, I just finally remembered what it was. I had the opportunity to do a business fair in Raleigh, and I was just excited to say how many entrepreneurs came up to discuss their excitement of wanting to come to the town of Zebulon. Manager Crosby, I'll give you your props because they actually knew who you were and had great things to say. But just excited for, again, what the board is saying about economic development. It's an opportunity for growth. And so I just want to emphasize the number of businesses that are looking to move here or open business here in the town of Zebulon. So doing great things, but want to make sure that we give people opportunity and set up meetings for them to come and have those conversations. This is something that's really major. We always talk about a vibrant downtown, and so if we have opportunities to do so, I would like to ensure that we have those discussions.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. And good luck to all the students that are taking their EOGs and of course, testing, and to the parents. Good luck to you all as well. Clerk Crawford.
I'm gonna come up here to speak because my mic is still acting up. While I'm not as handsome as Commissioner Adams is, I wanted to share a special thank you for everybody who kind of watched over things while I was out for a few weeks this past month. Mary stepping in, everybody being patient with the manager and the directors as they tried to play catch up on a lot of things I normally do. So I'm back healthy, a little taller than he is. Whoa! And we're both up, and so I thought I'd get the more comments out of the way first. I do have some notes I prepared for the board tonight, mayor, commissioners, and to the community. I would like to share that I have submitted my resignation as the town clerk for the town of Zebulon, effective August 31st of 2026. Serving this organization in the community has been a privilege. I am grateful to the board for the trust you placed in me and for the opportunity to serve in this role. I am equally grateful to our staff, whose professionalism, dedication, and commitment to public service have made my time here both rewarding and meaningful. While Zebulon, like any growing community, is going to continue to face challenges and important decisions ahead, I'm confident in the future of this organization. We have a capable town manager. She's been here 6.5 minutes and she's already done some amazing things. We have talented department directors and a staff that genuinely cares about the people we serve. Looking forward, I would encourage the board to continue to support the staff, trusting their professional judgment and providing them with the space and resources needed to do their best work. My decision to leave comes as my wife prepares to launch her own law firm for the second time. First time was during COVID, and we made it work then. I will be joining her firm as the operations manager, allowing me to focus on the business side of the practice and giving her a chance to do the legalese in the attorney role. It's an exciting opportunity for our family. Like I said, we launched it in COVID, had a great time, scared to death, made money, and then she took a different path to gain some more litigation experience. I'm looking forward to contributing to the next chapter and supporting us together in this new venture. Last couple of comments I had is, as I prepare this transition, my focus remains on ensuring the continuity and supporting the town through the selection and onboarding of the next town clerk. Again, I'm here till August 31st. I'm committed to making that transition as smooth and successful as possible. Finally, Zebulon is a special community, and its future will be shaped not only by the decisions made in this room, but by the continued commitment to what matters most, which is serving the people who call Zebulon home. Thank you very much. You guys have been great with supporting me, and you certainly kept me on my toes and made the work week fly by every week. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy.
I don't know if we should clap because, like, it's not really a clap moment, but you know.
We're happy for you.
Yeah, yay. Thank you, Jeremy. We really appreciate you. You have been incredible, and we hate to see you go, but we understand family dynamics. So thank you so much. Your service to the board has been incomparable. We appreciate you. Thank you.
And congratulations to
Thanks.
you and your wife.
Thank you. I hated making this announcement on a night when there's been so many problems.
Problems.
How I wanted to go out.
Nope, you're a problem child. We knew that already.
Just be able to say the mics didn't pick it up, so we're not accepting your.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Can we actually do something about this situation?
Yes, the manager is gonna. She said
We've
she would
already
look at it.
called.
Yeah. Heather, you
We're
see how
having
Heather
them
Louise is looking
The
at
goal
you
is to
right
have
now?
them come out before Thursday. We're on it.
Okay.
Thank you. Closed session. In pursuant to NCGS 143-318.11, real estate, for the purpose of real estate acquisition for the purpose of parks, we will go into closed session. Is there a motion? We have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Closed session with 5-minute recess.
All right, trying to get myself together.